Alex Ekweme Federal University.
Alex Ekweme Federal University. When did you graduate?
I graduated 2022.
What are you doing now? You are a corporation.
Yes, I'm currently serving Nigeria.
That's good. When did you graduate, Emmanuel?
2021.
2021. When did you finish your youth service? Did you go to youth service?
Yeah, I finished the service December 2023.
All right. There is one thing that has always baffled me when I hear it. I was like, I think I'm too good in it. And if you look, you see a white there. you see a white there. Gen Z. The first time I had it, I don't know. I know about Gen X, I know about baby boomers. That's one other one. You have baby boomers,
Gen X, Gen
Gen
Alpha.
X,
Gen X, millennials, and then Gen Z.
And there's Gen Alpha now too.
Gen Alpha. Have we entered Gen Alpha or have we entered Gen Alpha?
Gen Alpha, I think those born after 2012. They are referred to as the Gen Alpha.
And then how old now? 12 years.
Yeah.
Are they giving trouble?
No, not yet. Not yet.
So what is Gen Z?
Well, in simple terms, Gen Z simply refers to individuals within the age of 27 and 12 years. These are persons born between 1997 and 2012.
Is that the correct definition? What do I have here? You see, I'm old. I have to put on my glass in order to read what I found on AI. Generation Z, Gen Z, is the Zoomers.
Yes.
What does that mean again?
Zoom, they tend to, do things fast. So,
Okay, sharp. Gen Z is the demographic cohort of people born between the mid to late 1990s, correct? And early 2010s. They are also known as Zoomers. You got it? Zoomers. Oh, gosh. Why are they Zoomers? Is it just from said, or does that Zoomer mean anything?
I think Zoomers here would mean like, they just want to live life and they go, they are non-conformists, sort of. They want to, unlike the older generations, which are sort of, they conform. I think Gen Z, we need to hear what we just want to, that's why you see recently a lot of the social activism, a lot of all the frontline social media pushes from the Generation Z. We just don't care. They don't just care.
We don't agree.
We don't agree for anybody. So as a result of that, Zoomers, they just want to, as we are thinking it, we are doing it. No need to rationalize anything.
Is that a good thing like that?
Well,
It depends.
I would say it depends, yes. It depends on the situation, because I think there are some situations that call for pragmatic approach, which is one of the qualities of these Zoomers that we are talking about. So in some circumstances, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. So what impact is that Gen Z philosophy having on the young ones today? What impact is it having on them?
The impact of
Yeah,
the young.
that is, how has it affected their behavior inside the Gen Z? Or does it, okay, is it impactful at all? Or is it just what people say Gen Z? Or when I say I'm a Gen Z, am I compelled to behave in a certain manner? Or
I think when people think of Gen Z, they think of I think the swag. When you see Gen Z, they see it as a thing of pride. I mean, Gen Z, the swag that comes with it, the fact that you can just, do your own thing, sort of. That's why you come to the workplace. You find that it is the Gen Z, the social media managers, the influence on social media, and all of that.
Yeah.
So a lot of the TikTok trends, a lot of the social media trends are being led by Gen Z. And I think the Gen Z generation have redefined a lot of things, a lot of the way things were being done in the past, the traditional modes of approach. We are changing a lot of those things and bringing up a lot of these new perspectives.
all right, so let us pick them one by one. Because I think the philosophy of Gen Z may not be just because we are born in a certain manner, in a certain period.
Yeah.
Yes, late 1990s or early 2000s. But it may also, indicate certain type of behavior. If I'm correct. So you may be born outside Gen Z, but you may be behaving like a Gen Z. Is that a correct analysis?
Yeah, that's correct.
So let's pick the behavior. So what's one characteristic, what's one identity of the Gen Z generation generation?
I mean, one characteristic is
Tech savvy, you said?
tech savvy, yeah, tech savvy.
Yeah, tech savvy. And
Being pragmatic in nature.
pragmatic.
Yes.
And you say we know the hear what they are rebellious.
Yeah, rebellious in nature. Yeah, rebellious in nature.
And what again?
I think they are socially conscious
Socially conscious. Are they politically conscious as well?
Yeah,
to an extent.
They are.
Yes, yeah.
I'll give you an instance. Look
Okay.
look at the recent end bad governance. Let's use Nigeria for example.
Yes.
End bad governance protests, the NSAS protests in 2020. All of these protests were being fronted by.
But I think that is social consciousness. Is it political consciousness or social consciousness? What do you think? I think what you said is just being social political. What
Well,
do you think?
I think it's more socially inclined than political.
In that situation,
Jamal, please.
you know,
But did they vote? Do you think they
Of course, of
I mean,
course.
2023 was
Did they vote? Did they vote?
Yeah.
So what, if you are going thinking, what percentage of the Gen Z generation in Nigeria, for example, have a voter's card?
I think all those who were at least 18 years of age as of 2023, I think 80% of adult Gen Zs, 80% of them voted in 2023 elections, which just indicates that a lot of them have voters cards. I was serving during the 2023 elections. I traveled all the way from Uyo to Budu Cross River State just to cast my vote. I mean, the political awareness as at the last elections was top notch. Everybody it was like wanted to like do something different.
I'll come to that. Did you vote in the last election?
Of course, I did.
Now, if that were so, what percentage of Nigerian population do you think belong to the Gen Z generation? Okay, Nigerian population should be more than 200 million.
Yeah.
Yes, it's more than.
So that age range, what percent? What would it be the percentage of the Gen Z generation? Because I think every Gen Z generation must be of a voting age now, right? They're born in 2020.
No.
No.
Oh, no.
Those born from I think 2004, right?
Yes, 2004.
2004, 2005, all those ones, they have not turned 18 yet.
Okay. So we wouldn't use the percentage of the. I wanted to go to in the last election, only 28% of registered voters voted.
8%.
And so I think around 32%. Can we ask that is Gen Z? Let's use the tech. Let's quickly ask. If my son I go just how many percentage of Nigerian young ones voted in the 2023 presidential election? Then you'll be faster. Get it. Let me ask again. Let me ask Google, not AI. Hello, Google. What percentage of Nigerian young people voted in the last election? In the last election, 93.46 million Nigerians are eligible to vote. 93.46 million Nigerians are eligible to vote, right? So youth population tops the distribution chart as Anne presently. So they form the majority, majority voters. So they said the NEC chairman that the figures we arrived at said full stop the 93.4 million voters. So we want to know how many we should find this out because Nigerians we should know what percentage turnout.
71 million young Nigerians registered to vote.
Okay.
It's now the actual percentage that voted. That's I think a lot more young people voted in the elections.
I think they are not telling us. I think because okay, we should make progress, but let me take it from you that they are more politically conscious. But would you say that political consciousness has translated into having political elected officers that the young people wanted to be in office, that they actually voted for? What do you think?
Well, I really don't think so. being politically inclined, I think one of the things that pushed most of them not to come out of the 2023 election
Yeah.
was because of the condition of the country. Being a country like Nigeria, then you have an access to make things to change. That's where we talk about their pragmatic nature, causing things to change, changing the governance will imply changing a lot of things, the economic situation and the rest. I think this was a major reason why majority of them
Yeah.
came out, and not really that they are politically
Yeah, I also think
zealous.
apart from that, you know, previous elections, we saw the candidates, young people were there, you know, we see they're all the same. But I think the last elections presented, let's say P2B, he resonated with a lot of the young people, right?
That's true.
So, a lot of young people believed in him, came out from, I think he's the major reason why a lot of young people really started to vote in the last elections. And I would say that coming out to vote in the election did not reflect the will of most young people, and I doubt if we'll ever see the kind of.
Yeah, I wanted to add that, but without going too much into politics, which is not the object of this program, then would you think that if it is so that the person they want, the majority of the people wanted, will it now reflect on future election? They will say, oh, it's no use going out to vote because the person we wanted wasn't there. Do you think they will turn out again in that numbers?
On social media, I've been following the conversations lately on social media, and from what I've seen is a lot of the young people that voted for P2B, the last one, they were like, it's a joke, right? But they say, oh, I don't do that one for 2027. 2027, I will still voting, we'll make all of us a suffer this summer. 1-1.
Well, that's the question again.
So since most people, we have the choice of a good candidate in 2023, and since reasonable Nigerians decided to vote for someone else, 2027, they are going to do their own back by voting that same person so that the suffering will continue. So I think if a lot of people have this mentality, 2027 we see a very high level political party election.
Okay,
especially from young people.
All right, let's reflect on the relationship between the Gen Z generation and their parents. I think someone like me, they will classify me as I'm not a boomer. I'm not baby boomers, those the 1960s. What's the next one?
I think Gen X is
Gen X,
1960 to.
Yeah, I think I'm Gen X. Okay, 19 after the Second World War to 1960s. Baby boomers, yeah. Boomers is 40, 50, 60 generation. So I think I belong to the Gen X.
Yes.
Good. And so my kids now will be Gen Z.
Yeah.
Good. So from your own experience, I wouldn't know about my sons. They are good-headed. So what is the relationship between the Gen Z generation and their parents? How is it today? Let's go with you first.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a generic thing. It depends on individuals. Yeah, I've seen a good number of Gen Zs, maybe to call them the digital natives. I've seen a good number of them that actually have this smooth relationship with family, parents.
Right?
Yes, very, very smooth relationship. And not only that, once they attain that age of maturity, that 18 years, you discover that a good number of them tends to develop this sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
It's time to give back to where I drew from. So, but on the other hand, you see a few of them that once they come of age, they are nothing to write home about. So it's not a generic thing. It depends on individuals.
But would you say it is because our generation are more understanding? Because our generation really had a difficult time with our parents. Our parents were those old.
Yeah.
So, and then especially in Nigeria, after the Nigerian Civil War, our generation came on board. We were like, no. You're always fighting and quarreling with your parents because you think they don't get it. So would you say now that if Gen Z has just a better relationship with their parents, is it because our own generation is more understanding of modernity than the previous generation, or is it just that Gen Z are more reasonable?
I think that the Gen Z sort of let me give an example. While growing up, teenagers, my dad would always quarrel. You always on your phone. You always on your phone. Come on, do something like that. It's like outside. I and my younger brother always on our phone. he didn't understand what we're doing on our phone. I mean, as far as he's concerned, we should be doing the house chores, we should be doing all of that instead of being on
Always playing with your phone.
yeah. So along the line, I mean, the results started coming from the whole online, when Web3 came, we actually saw that we could make money from this person on phone.
Right?
Yeah, could make money from
And
this
so
person.
when money started coming, money can come from
It's
this.
not totally useless. It's not totally useless. And I think at that point he became, these guys are not just playing around, they're actually doing something meaningful. They became more understanding. But of course, he still had to be a house check, but they became more understanding. There's more to the social media. And along that, they became themselves, we involved them in the whole social media. They are now the way my dad press phone. You press more than those.
All right, so you see this now on this social media thing.
Yeah.
Some time ago, someone called me, please, can you register an account for me on Facebook?
Mm.
And I was like, why would I do that? He said, because I wanted to monetize, and Facebook does not want to monetize my feed. If you register it from the UK, then they'll monetize it, and then I'll start to. That was like, but now I learned Facebook.
Yeah.
So, what impact? I think Facebook now is madness.
It's the whole monetization thing, like blew a whole lot of things out of proportion. People want to do like a lot of things for content, there's a lot of crazy things going on there. But it's what comes with our generation. I think a lot of the reason is I want to blame your generation a bit.
Wow.
Now, you see, I think your generation is the generation that, apart from your relationship with your parents, you guys sort of have things easier.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure.
You guys have things easier. Your generation was a generation that finished school. As far as you went to school, there was a job waiting.
No, that's not my generation. My generation, I think it is. I used to hear my dad say, in our own time, once you graduate from school, there's a job waiting for you.
Yeah.
504 Peugeot. Once you come out of 504 Peugeot, drivers, they want to have an office. No, definitely not my generation. You think I'm that old?
That thing. No, I'm not that old. The generation before, I feel like they have things easier. Things were working, and it was in their hands. But a lot of things got spoiled.
But not my generation, because we also say it is their generation. It is Soyinka's generation, that generation of 1960. Not Soyinka, that generation that came out of 1960, that came out of independence. I think their generation had a good scholarship, bursary. I didn't get any bursary when I went to school. No. So that generation had all those things.
Yeah, but I think that a more contributing factor to that is the issue of peer pressure.
With Gen
Peer pressure. I don't really, yes, among Gen Zs, I don't really, blame the older generation. It's peer pressure. You see a Gen Z who is okay. Yes, I should use the word okay, or rather contented. You should be contented with what you have.
Yeah.
But when you look around and you see your peers, and you think that their standard or their level is a little bit above yours, some of them, in fact, most of them go extra miles.
Are you saying this in relation to like, is it internet fraud?
Yeah.
Or content creation that we see a lot of young people?
Especially internet fraud, yes.
Okay.
Internet fraud. When I was in school, I've had scenarios where a lot of them, my friends, try as much as possible to talk me into doing one of these online things, which to me, I don't see the necessity of that. The little I have should be okay for me. See, robbing people. So what's the necessity?
Does that worry you? Because let's young people today online. Of course, the Yahoo one. Yeah. And then the content creation one that's positive. But then there are other more disturbing ones that I get to see, especially among young girls. You will see, you go on Facebook. In fact, I'm afraid to have my wife and my kids look at. I don't go to Facebook more, but whenever I go, you look at my status. Because you wouldn't even know when you added them. Add me, then you add them. And then when you go to your status, what you see is disturbing.
and then start to get messages. And then you want me to show you something?
Right.
If I send you something, will you give me money? And they say, if you are naive, you can say, okay, let me see what you will send. And
Those are fraudsters, actually.
really?
Those are young men behind this.
Okay, they're not girls, right?
Those are young men behind this account.
Okay.
Trying to like get you to, send money to them. They are actually, I think most of them, actually the girls that actually do that. But most of them, especially on Facebook, is actually young men behind those accounts trying to bait you into sending money for them. And sometimes when you send it, they might not, when you send them money, they will not even send anything.
Why do they do that? Okay, they do it for money.
It's fraud, obviously. It's fraud. Well, I think where the actual problem is, there are social media platforms. We have the like OnlyFans. OnlyFans is where people can actually sell your content, but these days it has turned to another thing. Young ladies, as far as there's a saying, how can you be a girl and be lacking? It's on social media.
Right? How can you be a girl and be lacking?
You're lacking, come on. God has given you everything. So that's only
you use what in our own time we say use what you have to get what you want.
So that OnlyFans platform, it's a crazy place. You just sell your nudes, sell your your pictures, all of those things.
And then they get money for that.
To testing men online and they get money for it. So
how dangerous is it? Is it harmless fun or is it dangerous?
It's dangerous.
How?
It's dangerous in a lot.
Okay, let me tell. Did you read this news about children in the United Kingdom that committed suicide because
a Nigerian fraudster?
Because a Nigerian fraudster got him to show his nude to him, and then they got in touch with the boy and say, unless you send money to me, I will post your picture to I'll send your picture to your parents and to your contacts. And the child, it happened not once, two, three, actually start sending money when there is not much money to send.
Yeah.
They committed suicide.
These are dangerous. These are some of the very dangerous impacts of the whole internet fraud thing.
And so about the implications of some of the things they do.
It's crazy out there. It's a situation of eat or be eaten. You don't care whose horse is God. You don't care who it affects. You don't care who gets eat in the process. It's crazy, but the most of the justification, especially from Africans, is that we are trying to get back what the colonizers took from us. That's why the colonizers took our resources. And I think these are just some of the justifications.
Justifications, yes.
Yeah. We're trying to get back the resources back from them. So like, as far as they're concerned,
doesn't really
they are doing themselves and their country proud.
Yeah. I think it's also a good time for us now to, for our viewers to educate themselves. Sometimes you don't really have to. I know I've received an email to my work email.
Yeah.
And the guy said, you just have to send me 10,000 Bitcoins. He said 5,000 Bitcoins. I said, and then he said, because I have your password. And that password he showed me is actually my work email password. And so I have hacked your email. This is your password to show that I do business. I know what you are doing. I have a video of what you are doing. And if you don't send this 5,000, whatever, I'll send it to all your email contacts.
This is like,
I know I don't have any video like that. I'm not doing anything. I deleted the email. Right. But someone else who may feel it could be true and have some money could be victim. And that could lead, it has actually led to a lot of people committing suicide. But that is not the object of this interview. It is Gen Z. What are the positive sides of these Gen Z behaviors that we see around us? Can you go first? What do you think is the positive Gen Z behavior we see around us?
Of course, I keep hammering on their practical approach to issues.
Okay.
Issues that concern society, their personal issues, career issues, and the rest of them. You look at some sectors like the music sector, we have a good number of them, like Ayra Starr.
Yeah.
She's a Gen Z, she's doing very well. Rema, He's also a Gen Z. He's doing like there are a whole lot of them. Adema Somadina. And then recently there is a 22-year-old. He's the youngest PhD student in the University of Lagos studying computer science.
Really?
So it's not just in the
Not
entertainment
just
industry,
yeah.
even in the academic. Yes. And I got to know recently that there is an AI-powered diagnostic tool that is used for detecting malaria. Guess who invented it? A Gen Z. His name is Chukwemeka Ene.
Wow.
Yes.
We should get to interview him.
These are things,
yeah,
positive things that we get from this generation. So I think they have it.
So how best can we, not exploit, what the word now? How best can we utilize the potentials of the Gen Z generation and the type of resources available to them to further improve the society?
I think the first thing here is it back home or like globally, let's just say, first thing is to create an enabling environment. Recently, I heard of the UK party leader. I think it's a young Kemi. What's her name?
Yeah, Kemi Baden.
Yeah, she's young. I think she belongs to the Gen Z generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are
41 years. When interpreted.
41 years.
I think it's 41.
Oh,
is it? I think it's 41.
She's not Gen Z, but
is it? I put on my glasses again.
Yeah, but these are young people that if we.
But I think he went into politics at a much younger age. It's just by the time he got to being the Tory party leader, he got in his, I think, early 30s. But let us confirm.
So we have a lot of brains back here that if we actually created enabling environments where we can harness these potentials. I know of a friend.
She's actually 44, born in 2nd January 1980.
Oh,
so Kemi is here, Gen Z.
Gen X.
We don't like that one. It is also it is also Gen X, yeah.
So what I'm saying is we have a lot of potentials, especially among the young people. I know someone, Hero Jump, scored I think 280 something back in the day, then wrote post-UTME 400 and 300 and something. Unica did not give him admission. Did not give him admission to study medicine. The next day he got the scholarship and went to Russia. So these are the kind of opportunities we are letting go because with that environment, we are not creating that environment for the young people, either because of corruption or some kind of nepotism, or I don't know what the situation is, but we are losing a lot of young people because we cannot identify the potential. Yeah, and the environment back home is not even, it's not encouraging.
Yes,
it's not encouraging. Young people are obviously the target for policemen and some of these armed forces.
Which letter answers
that stereotype that
which letter answers
either because of that stereotype that young people are mostly fraudsters and the harassment. So we are losing good brains. And when we start facing the consequences, it's going to be really, really bad.
I think, so what do you think the society could do, parents, government, institutions could do to help these Gen Z generation fully exploit their potentials? Because like you said, some of the happening apps today, because it's only young ones who have the time to develop all their waking hours to think how to develop this app that can actually, not old men like me who are more concerned with taking care of their family disease and so on. So how can we better provide the enabling environment to enable Gen Z to reach their full potentials?
Well, there is this saying that too much of everything is not really good. The issue of utilization of social media, I think there is need for some kind of restrictions.
Right.
Restrictions on what you do. Yes, it's true. It's your space, it's your account. It's yours and yours alone. But there should be a restriction to certain things that, convey bad message to the general public. Because as much as social media is concerned, it's not just for you alone. As much as you consume it, others equally utilize it. So there should be a limit to what happens there. Then secondly, back home, I think it's time our parents do more work. They've been doing work, but it's time they put in more work. The young ones coming, needs to be looked into. you discover these days that Gen Z, they are, should I say, emotionally unstable. Little thing, just like you said, the young guy that committed suicide and all that.
Mm.
So these are things that were not really common during the
Yeah.
times of
Yeah.
our fathers
You don't
and
get to hear such
grandfathers.
stories.
So it's high time society, provide programs, government provide programs that, educates these people, mental health issues and things like that. With that, I think it will progress.
Don't you think that the reason why a lot of these issues is coming up now is because things are really, really, let's talk about politically, economically, things are really, really bad, you know? Once the jobs are not there, people like go into different things just to survive. And when people go into drugs out of depression, their mental, because what they envisage for their life is not panning out the way they wanted it to. So everything needs to start from the center. There should be a conscious effort by the governments to address these things, either by way of improving the standard of living, which I don't know when that is going to happen here, but there should be a conscious effort and plan. The young people should be priority.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel and
Chukwuemeka.
It's been a very, very enlightening conversation. I wish we can continue, but I think that is the most we can take today. Some other time we'll discuss about Gen X and find out what the problem is. So it's been a pleasure discussing with the two of you, and thank you for coming to DDM Studio.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen and ladies. Thank you. Have a nice day.